welcome to the Engineering Emotions and Energy podcast. I'm your host, Justin Wink. This is a less peppy intro because I'm going to title this episode Dark Night of the Soul, because that's what I'm coming off of. So right now I'm on the second floor of a really gorgeous house in Cabo San Lucas, overlooking the ocean. Right now I'm seeing a pretty good-sized yacht cruising by, and it's just gorgeous, amazing paradise. And here with some really, really great people. Yeah, last night was a rough night. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and because I think it's something that it's not necessarily my first experience like that, and maybe many of you have had similar ones, or maybe there's a part of you that knows that there's some dark things that are ready to be experienced, so that you can let them go and move forward. So, here in paradise, have a good time, have some fun, enjoy some sun, all while, working and getting things done. And I see off in the distance, a whale just spouted from its blowhole, because it's, migration season. So there's a lot of whales going by as well right now. And it was one of those things that just throughout yesterday, it just seemed like a lot of friction in interactions where, my experience, it was just a lot of, I didn't feel like I was, being listened to or understood, or that, what I needed was being met. And I'm sure many of you can relate at one time or another in your life, or know people that have. And I just got, tried to talk stuff out, tried to find better ways. Yeah, it just kept, got to that point where just even something really small, kind of really set me off. I just I'm just frustrated. I'm done. And, went to go to sleep, and I was just like, I can't sleep. So, went and, listened to a transmission from, there's this, healer channeler that I follow. His name's Asil Toksel. So I listened to one of these transmissions from him, which is basically going to a meditative state, and there's a transmission of teachings and energies, and the topic was on life force energy, which was just super appropriate. It's just something where late in the past month or so, I've really gotten into Qigong, which is all about bringing in life force energy, and it's required for health and vitality. And so I did that, and then came back to bed, and just the emotions started coming, the tears started pouring, and they really did not stop for I probably cried more hours than I slept last night. And just the themes that kept coming up were, why am I here? What am I doing on this earth? Why all this pain? Why does it still hurt so much? Because if you kind of new to the show, I have one of the most downloaded episodes is where I talk about my divorce and losing my house. Not effectively losing it, but not basically losing any interest in living there. And that was about 6 months ago, actually, probably almost 6 months ago, exactly when I did that episode. Cause it was, about July 11th. And I think I'm recording this on, January 11th, or 12th. So probably it could be about 6 months, exactly. So probably quite fitting. But that was, when, I recorded, the most downloaded, podcast episode so far, where I just talked about, my marriage, basically dissolving that, that realizing that just was not working for either of us, and going through the divorce process, and it's still not totally complete, getting closer. It's been there's been some rocky, rough stuff, and trying to just approach it with love and kindness. That just the feelings of like anger and hurt, they come, and I've had to feel it, and it's been wild because some of the greatest things have been happening while some of the most painful things have been happening. Because meeting new people, having new opportunities, and I feel like this, what I just experienced is very, very similar. In one of the most fantastic, amazing places with some of the most great people I've had the opportunity to connect with so far, and having the night where just all the pain, having some memories of being a child, probably about first grade, mom driving in the front seat and sisters in the back passenger seat with me. And, she said something that kind of bothered me, and I snapped back, and instead of, having a verbal interchange, her mode was usually go straight to the crying, like you'd just gotten the shit beat out of you. Just scream, cry, bloody fucking murder. That's how my sister would react to just about any little thing. And my mom, being, it's like I look back and I see, her having these two young kids, and my dad would have been out, deployed in the military. I think at that time he was, up spending most of the time up on a naval ship in San Francisco, and we were living in San Diego. And so she's just her with these two young kids and having to figure everything out, and overwhelmed. And I don't know if that was before or after, her longtime dog Spunky died. And so, I would have liked, my mom to turn around and go, "Hey, Justin, it sounds like there's something going on here. Like, I see you, I hear you. I know it's frustrating. I know your sister's having a tough time. Let's calm it down. Let's settle down, and we'll talk about this when we get home." That would have been nice. But instead it was effectively, "Justin, knock it off. Stop it." And just, that, you didn't see what I was doing. You didn't see what she was doing. You knew I was the one on some level that if you told me to shut it down, I would shut it down, because I have that ability. I have those skills. And it's on some level, my parents knew that. So they placed the bigger burden on me. Kind of learning now, what are the burdens to take on, and what are the burdens that are those others. It's been something interesting to navigate. And so I know a lot of this episode and a lot of the story is nonlinear, and things will kind of circle back, and it's going to be okay. And the important lesson that needs to come out of it is going to come out of it. So flash forward to this morning, and it's like I've, got a few hours of sleep, and I wake up and I still have, some heavy emotion, and I just realized that even though, it's a day with some amazing people that got a lot of love and a lot of care, out of that, I did my chanting practice, checked in with my intuition, and was like, I need to choose to separate myself today and just be on my own. And so I had to have that conversation, and it's very, very difficult, when off somewhere and come for a certain purpose, yet this is, taking the time. I was just doing some reading of The Way of the Superior Man by David Data, and it's one of the just, pick a chapter and just, cuts right to the point, right to the core feeling, just like, oh my gosh, this is really what it's all about. And one of the chapters I read was about don't go chasing a woman. if she doesn't want you, you got to let her go and deal with your pain on your own. That if you become more devoted to the relationship of the woman, and this is one of those that, if you're getting, having issues with my gendered language, go read the beginning of the book. Really it's about masculine, feminine, it's about being, more purpose driven or more flow driven. That's really what it's about. It's not whether about, having a penis or a vagina or any of that, but, that basically the more purpose driven partner, and we all have all of these, ends up needing that flow more, that it causes a flip in the scripts that each would ideally like to play out. And then at that time, it's time to let that go. And that really reminded me of towards the end of the marriage that I was in. And at that time, my job was not my purpose. I found no joy in it. I found no point in it. And I really did. I put a lot of my focus onto the marriage, and she did not want that anymore. And I definitely see that I'd forced that too much, and I didn't have the resources to reflect back that, hey, this is maybe not working anymore. Started to get there, couples therapy, and ultimately, yeah. And I feel like a little bit of last night was that residual dealing with that pain of that loss, the wanting to feel that love, that woman's love, being seen, and just sort of like really feeling that, and also realizing many other people feel that too. Like I know my dad felt that when he was a child. Perhaps his dad as well. Man, that's something that many of you listening have felt, where you deeply, deeply wanted to be seen. You deeply, deeply wanted to be heard. Deeply, deeply wanted to be understood. And for whatever reason, it wasn't because of you. It's just people around you weren't able to do it. And you didn't have it in yourself to truly understand and give it to yourself. And if you're listening to this, part of you already knows that you have everything you need. You can give yourself those gifts, either through bringing in the right people or just by connecting to yourself in the right way, maybe with the right practice, or just by me saying it right here that I see you, I hear you, I understand you. That the past is the past. There's no changing that. I was talking with a friend of mine who do this group, and so maybe he's listening now, and we got into this sort of discussion about, going through like what happened as a childhood, and just feeling this, kind of reflecting back of, wanting to have, the parent usually be accountable, responsible. And I definitely understand that feeling, and I've acted on that a lot in the past, and I definitely found that it didn't fix anything for me. It didn't fix anything for my parents. When I kind of came from curiosity and kindness and love and got a bigger perspective and picture, and realized that, it would have been great. Yet in a lot of ways, the lessons I learned because of what I went through growing up, and also the lessons I learned of what I went through last night, they serve a purpose. They allow us to grow, to experience, to be able to appreciate the good things, the beauty, the light. And without the dark, we don't know where the light is at times. How long we stay in the darkness or the pain that's an option. That's a choice.
Feeling overwhelmed by the daily grind? Imagine if you could pause, reset, and truly connect with a calmer, more fulfilled you. It's not just a dream, it's absolutely possible. Hi, I'm Justin, and I invite you to discover the life-changing techniques in my book, Engineered to Love. Right now, I'm offering a free chapter complete with guided audios that have already helped so many people find peace amidst the chaos. These aren't just any techniques. They're transformative practices designed to help you love yourself and engage deeply with the present moment, without even having to close your eyes to the world around you. So join us at engineeredtolove.com/sample and access your free guided session. It's time to bust the busyness and embrace the joy, ease, and love in your everyday life. Don't wait. Start your journey to a more relaxed and recharged you today, because you deserve to live a life you love. Visit engineeredtolove.com/sample. See you there.
And I want you to have the option to spend as little of it as possible, because that's a choice that I'm actively working on right now, is to experience what needs to be experienced and allow it to pass and let go, and to choose, some sweetness, some fun, some love, and to allow that, for you and for anyone else that's going to listen, whether you listen to this right when it comes out, or, who knows how many years later, if you stumble upon this, as long as this maybe, helps one person, that person might even just be me. And sometimes that's all that matters, is when we know what we need to do and we know what's right, we do it, even if some people are going to have some challenge with it, some pain, because I like to often ask, well, what is the alternative? Because already I saw the alternative yesterday with the feeling of friction and me getting kind of pissy and bitching back at people. I'm like, this is not how I want to be with people. So I'm going to take this step back, take this time away for me, so that I can really figure out what's important, what's not, what's mine, what's not, so that I can come back full, complete, from a place of strength, love, compassion. These are the values and the traits that I continue to cultivate. Sometimes it requires saying something that someone doesn't want to hear, doing something that someone would rather you not do. That's the thing with choice. We have the freedom of choice. There's not freedom from consequence. There are consequences to every choice we make. And even when we're not making a choice, there's a consequence to that. So the question is, are you going to choose to run away from the darkness? Because when you turn your back on the darkness, it just gets bigger and bigger, scarier, because we don't know what we don't know, and it becomes even larger in the darkness of fear. Or are you going to turn into it, face it, realize that you're of the light, that by facing it, even though it might be small, it might not seem like enough at first, your light's shining, and it's decreasing that darkness, and that fear is diminishing. And on the other side, there's trust, there's love, there's hope. It's a lot of beauty going through that. Sometimes that beauty can be not the easiest thing to experience either, because it'll be a beauty that is going to be new. It's going to be different than what you've experienced. And I've been experiencing a lot of new beauty, a lot of new joys, and it's not without a price. The price of letting go of what I've known, price of letting go of how I've been. Yet I also know that it wasn't working for me. And chances are there's probably some aspects of your life that they haven't been working for you. And that's okay. It's okay. Perhaps just it's time to face those dark things that we fear and shine the light and brave those consequences so we can also get the joy and the love and the beauty and the energy and the purpose that we all know that we desire and deserve just by being here. So yeah, last night was a dark night of the soul for me, where I was like, why am I not getting the guidance? Why am I still unclear of what I'm meant to, be doing? There's just been so much pain, so much challenge, so much suffering. When will it be enough? And when will I just get to feel like I know what I'm doing? Things are clear. And as I'm speaking to you, I'm feeling more and more clear that being able to have conversations like these with you and be able to share ways so that when things like these do come up, you're well trained, you have the tools and you have the resources, both within yourself and with the right people. And I'd like to invite you, to reach out to me if you're like, if this something I said resonates or there's something coming up, send me a message on social media. That's pretty much in everything. You can find me through Justin Wink, Ph.D. And, email podcast@justinwink.com. Because, although I was having the feeling of I'm alone, truth is we're not alone. We're all connected. And part of that feeling alone is so that then we can feel the joy of the connection to ourselves and to others and to that even beyond ourselves. So I think with that, I'm going to wrap up this episode as I look out over the blue water and a large sailboat is cruising on by and sun's out and some beautiful wisps of clouds and the waves are breaking on the rocky shore that I'm looking at. I want to leave these beautiful images for you to feel into and visualize and hear the calm peace in your mind, and so that can perhaps be an anchor so that if the darkness shows up, you know that you keep swimming. There is a safe purchase upon which you will land, and you will find your safe footing and your solid ground, that the sun will shine and grant you what you want and what you deserve. So desire boldly, choose confidently. It's all meant to work out. It's all working out. It is, has been, always will be fine. Love those words from my mentor, Jim Fortin. So with that, I'm going to end this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I love you all. And with that, good day.